Carrie, coming at you for another episode of Bauman's Breakdown, presented by Cracker Jacks. Every box has got a surprise. What's up, everybody? This is Mike Bauman. I haven't done Harry Carey in a while, man.
Well, I figured, you were doing it because of the Oscars. Maybe you won something in the Oscars last night.
Why did he never host the Oscars? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
That
was from Billy Crystal.
And present every award.
Just like
and the winner for Best Movie goes to, oh my gosh, wow, this is great. Ben Affleck, Argo. Wow.
Did he win everything last night?
No. Argo won several awards. Actually, Life of Pi won a bunch, which I wish I would have.
I want to see that.
I really wish I would have saw it on film because I'm into that really. I have a fantastical imagination. Fantastical is not a word, but that's how fantastic
it is now.
My imagination is.
You've said it, so it's a word.
It just looks like a really cool concept, and he's in the boat with that tiger, and it's about life and faith and all that good stuff, and it's just the cinematography, which that won Best Cinematography.
Yeah, it won everything that way.
And Ang Lee won Best Director. But, I mean, the cinematography in that looked pretty awesome. Just the effects that they were using and just the world that they created, that looked awesome. I still haven't seen Argo. I really do want to see Argo. Just because I have a lot of respect for Ben Affleck.
It's not Ben Affleck anymore. They changed his name.
What, Benjamin?
It's Benjamin now, yes. Just a Seth MacFarlane joke.
Yeah. I thought, how much of it did you watch? I really liked it. I thought he did a good job.
I was watching the Buckeyes beat MSU last night, which was incredible.
Oh, did they? What was the final of that one?
By 6. It was a 6-point game. Kraft had the absolute game of his life.
Michigan State got screwed with their schedule down the stretch, by the way.
Yeah. Well, they're done. I mean, because they lost 2 in a row. They're going to go from 4 to... I bet they're not...
They'll still get in the tournament, though.
Oh, they'll be in the tournament. I don't see them in the top 20, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter until the big show.
Sure.
Michigan State's come out of nowhere. Ohio State's the one, to me, that needs to be focused for the big show.
Yeah, I don't see. I see him making it to the Big 8, but that's it.
The Elite 8?
Or the Elite 8, that's it, yeah. I don't see him going any further than that. I just don't.
Well, that's pretty friggin' far. That's one game away from the Final Four.
I know. I said the 8's... I see him making it to the 8, but... there's just too much stuff coming out of Big Ten this year. It's unbelievable.
So you were watching that?
Yeah. Same thing with Michigan. I think Michigan. Everybody's talking about how good Michigan is and everything. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they have what they
may make it to the Final Four. They may. I don't see them. My gosh, my sister would be in heaven hearing me say this right now.
Tournament play comes down to really good coaching,
right?
Depth in the backcourt and good team defense.
And then, of course, I had to watch Family Guy. So,
yeah, I thought Seth MacFarlane did a good job because he wasn't afraid to go. He wasn't afraid to go for a couple of those the kidney shots, as it were.
Yeah.
Not low blows, but just right above the belt.
He was putting it down on George Clooney though last night.
He was.
But George Clooney, I had one of my friends text me say that if you'd have put George Clooney in a all white suit and gave him a bucket of chicken, he looked like the Colonel last night.
What, with his beard?
Yeah, I mean, he's white. He's like me. He's all salt and pepper. He's my twin brother.
Ben Affleck, at one point, he came out to present something, and it was right after Seth MacFarlane. It was like, and ladies and gentlemen, Ben Affleck, and he was like, this guy went from being the star of Gigli to now being one of the most important producers, actors, and directors of our time. And, the whole thing in the beginning, they were acting like, he was doing such a terrible job, and they had William Shatner, from Star Trek, and he's like, this is what happens, you do this, and then you do this, and about making the show bomb. And then Ben Affleck came out after Seth MacFarlane said that, and he was like, Seth, I thought you were doing a good job, but I still think you got time to turn things around. Right after he said it about it. And I think he was just ribbing him on.
Yeah,
Ben Affleck's got a good sense of humor, so I think he was just ribbing him on it. But I thought it went really well. I really wasn't too surprised by anybody that won. I think a lot of people expected Daniel Day-Lewis to take home the Oscar for Lincoln, because that dude is a phenomenal actor. And
did he get that?
Yeah, I think he's the first guy to get 3 for the best actor.
Wow.
I think he's the first dude to get 3. And then Jennifer Lawrence won for Silver Linings Playbook.
She's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really talented. But it's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
like
creepy
her.
that you're saying that she's hot because she's like 19
No,
years old.
she is not. She's
She
like
is too.
27.
No, she
Yes,
is not.
She's 27.
Mike, she's
27.
younger than me. We're going to look it up on IMDb, and I'm going to prove
right,
it to you.
all right.
She is not 27. She looks, because she's mature, but I'm telling
I'm
you.
going to go get my thing right now. You
Do
talk for a little bit. Talk about where you're going today.
She's 19. I'm telling you. But I was impressed with the Oscars. Because I like when somebody gets a little bit edgy. I mean, I love Billy Crystal. I've watched it several years with him, and the Oscars isn't something I pay attention to. It's kind of like become like, I mean, it is the Super Bowl of movies, but I even think now it's just everything is so tied in with the production and the commercials and the pre-show and then the after-show stuff. I mean, it really has become like Super Bowl-esque coverage for the Oscars. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like they have the whole pre-show, then there's all the after-party stuff.
It's too much, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on, but I really like Seth because I knew he was going to be funny and I knew he was going to be edgy, and I think that's nice, especially at a night where everybody's uptight and tense and they're worried, are we going to win, are we going to lose?
Right.
I think it's good when you have a guy who's in a room who can just get everybody to laugh and maybe get them to turn their heads a little bit and go, ooh, I don't know about that one. Because then he made a joke about Abraham Lincoln, and he said something like, oh, we talk about Daniel Day-Lewis's acting, but I really think John Wilkes Booth was able to get inside his head better than anybody. And everybody was kind of like, ooh, and he was like, really, 127 years later, and it's still too soon. So, I mean, he wasn't afraid to be edgy, and I thought it was really good, and I thought it was funny. I thought he did a great job, and actually the performances. Jennifer Hudson, did you see her, man?
No,
dude. They did it like a tribute to like the musicals, and this is a huge
she's 24
for the musicals. She is not 24.
She was born August 15th.
Are you looking at Wikipedia? August 5th, yeah, 1990.
Right.
So
she's 23.
It's 2003.
Uh-huh.
And it's not August 2003 yet. So she's
22 and a half.
She's
oh,
22.
Man, Jesus.
I told you, she's not 27. She's
well, you
young.
thought she was like 11 or something.
I said she was 19.
Well,
that's closer than she was 19 when she had like her first.
We both blew it. We both blew it by 2.5, 3 years.
What? 27 is a lot further off. That's 5 years away. I was like 3 years away. I was half as far as away, almost half as far as away as you were.
Anyways.
You creep.
She's still hot. I just like her attitude.
Yeah, I bet.
Now she's got great attitude.
Yeah, what part of her attitude do you like?
No,
do you like both her attitudes?
Speaking of both her attitudes.
Do you like both her attitudes?
The one girl that won Best Supporting Actress, Anne.
Oh, Anne Hathaway?
Yeah, her dress. Did you see what, I mean, her dress was interesting, to say the least.
I didn't see
it. It must have been very cold in there. I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Dude, you are like totally
it's all over. It's all over Google and
really?
Everything. Oh my god!
I didn't notice any of that, to be honest with you. I didn't notice.
Yeah, I'll just. It's Hathaway.
She's cool too, man. Incredibly smart, very good actress.
She did a wonderful job. Talking about hers was good. I liked when they were long and they played the Jaws theme.
I thought it was funny, but then the one guy got cut. He legit got cut off.
Oh, he just wouldn't shut up, though, man. He was mumbling and rambling.
Well, he was getting right to a serious thing where he's talking about a guy, and he had financial trouble, and I want everybody to remember, and it was like, and then it was just cut the mic, and I was like, oh, man. Well, the one guy, I think that...
See, Anne Hathaway's dress malfunction.
No, I didn't see any of that.
You really couldn't miss it. It was like two AK-47s pointing right at you.
Was it full on out?
Oh, you could just... They were there. They were surprised. Yeah, they were...
what do we got here?
I'm waiting to get it.
I didn't notice that at all.
They called it the nipple reveal.
Really?
Yes. Come on. Yeah, it wasn't... It was...
She looked good.
Great dress. It was just the way...
Jessica Chastain looked really, really good.
I didn't see it.
For Zero Dark 30. I mean, she's a naturally beautiful woman anyway, but
Right.
she looked like really elegant. She had a very nice dress on.
Here.
And
You can't tell it really
she
in
looked
that
cute.
picture, but in all the other ones, they were like boing.
See, I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe on TV they.
No, they looked like boing.
Man, you are being a perv this morning. Jeez, oh Pete's.
I'm just telling you.
Am I gonna go on to Family Watchdog and see your little
Yeah.
your little perv stats come up?
Yeah, that's what I was. It's so funny, with all of our work we're doing with Channel 13 and everything, and then when all hell broke loose, and all of a sudden, gosh, am I on like Google or something for something like, it's like, what the heck's going on? But we're back. Everything's going good. Channel 13 had our first games this weekend, and yay, we're back.
Oh, they were on Channel 13.
13.2.
Were they on 58 still?
Not the sectional games. We just did the sectional games on 13.2, and basically now we'll be running everything on 13.2. So that way, our Time Warner people can see them. And yeah, you got a busy week ahead of you, buddy. Get ready.
Okay.
Unless it snows. Yeah, God, man, this snow. If we get it by the time they hear this, we'll be through the apocalypse. We'll be picking up the pieces of our ruined civilization.
I will believe it when I see it.
I know.
Because as I was just telling you before we went on air, the worst snow we got was last week, and I heard nothing about how bad it was. I mean, it was the perfect snow for throwing a big snowball at somebody's.
Right.
That.
Well, they're saying
snow.
this one's going to be mostly like rain, snow, sleet mix, but
they're having a field day about it then.
Yeah,
the biggest, the abominable snowman.
3 inches of ice.
Yeah,
that's a lot of ice.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I know. I'm hoping not, because if we lose Tuesday's game, which is a Cardinal Church Maumee Valley game, they'll more than likely move that to Wednesday. And in Wednesday we have the Rossford Napoleon game.
Well, everything would probably get moved back a day.
But I don't think so. If they did,
how would they do it?
Well, because they're not at the same places the games we're doing.
Right.
So there wasn't a game Tuesday night in Napoleon.
Well, then how the heck would we be able to do both Wednesday?
That's going to be the $1 million question.
Well, don't borrow trouble, man. Don't borrow trouble.
Don't borrow trouble. But we'll figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
We always do.
Yeah.
And got a good staff, and everybody's is just gonna be crazy.
The game Wednesday night, Napoleon Rossford.
That's gonna be probably the biggest game we've done in a while.
That'll be a really good game. Jordan Lauf, Toledo bound Jordan Lauf out of Napoleon.
Yeah, he's like 6'4", 6'5", right?
6'5".
Is he?
Yeah.
He's gonna play forward though. I mean, he's not.
Good. No, he'll be a guard.
Oh, you think so?
At 6'5".
But he's a very good ball handler. I guess that's what. Yeah, very good.
He'll be a wing guy. He'll be a wing guy. It'll be interesting to see how soon he cracks the rotation, because honestly, they need some help at the guard spot, because they lost Curtis Dennis from last year, and he was a really good 3-point shooter. And I think in retrospect, if he probably would have stayed at Toledo, because of what happened with all the sanctions and stuff, he could transfer anywhere he wanted to and play right away.
Right.
And he transferred to a school closer to home where he's originally from, and he's not getting a lot of PT. And if he would have been at Toledo, he would have been the sixth man, maybe even the starter, because he was an incredible 3-point shooter. But hindsight's 20/20. Well. But yeah, I thought the Oscars went well, and like I said, I didn't really even plan on like watching them all the way through, because like I said, I do enjoy movies, but it's like that's not something where I'm like, oh, I don't, you know what I mean? And like, who are you wearing? You know what I mean? Like, we're guys. I don't care as long as she looks good. You know what I mean? And it's tasteful, because some of them go a little too crazy.
Like Anne Hathaway.
See, I didn't even notice. I'm telling you, I did not notice
I'm
any
teasing
of that.
you on that one.
You know
I'm
what
just
I mean?
teasing you.
But I thought she looked good. She did a good job. And I got to say, I got more respect for the musical stuff, because I'm not big into the song, dance, production stuff.
Like the Grammys, I don't get into the Grammys.
No.
That's too much.
It's just all a big spectacle. Yeah. But I will say last night was not. It was Jennifer Hudson friggin' tore it up. You need to watch that. Her voice, because
what song did she do?
They did it was something, I think, from Dreamgirls, because remember she won for Dreamgirls a couple of years ago.
That song. Yeah.
Well, they did a musical tribute to like the musicals, because 10 years ago Chicago, I think, won Best Movie.
Right.
and I think it may have been the first musical to win the best movie of the year, something like that.
Right.
But it was a 10-year anniversary, so they did this thing where they did like a tribute, and they did Chicago, they did Dreamgirls, and actually she was so good, I don't even remember. And then I think the Les Mis was right after that, and like the whole cast came out. That was really good. But her voice, man, was like, wow. I mean, everybody stood up. I mean, she was incredible. It was awesome. So I really thought it went extremely well. But I got to see Life of Pi and I got to see Argo.
Right.
And I've been wanting to see both of those for a while. But
anyway,
switching gears to not too much. It's still in the musical realm. This week I got a local guy to do the show.
And I got another band I want you to talk to eventually here.
Let's do it.
Wally Beaver. Have you heard of these guys?
Wally Beaver.
I can't remember their name, but they're like a bunch of old farts like me.
Mm-hmm.
They play out at Put-in Bay and stuff a lot, and they've got some really good YouTube stuff that's out there. Great friend of mine, AJ Cherney, is the lead guitar player, and he was in the band that used to do all the Beatles stuff here in town. But AJ Cherney, if you're a guitar player in the city of Toledo, probably a very, very good chance he was your guitar teacher. He was my guitar teacher. I mean, he's just been around forever. But they put this band together, and they're incredible. It's got a beautiful horn section. They do a lot of like Chicago, and they do some.
Are
some
they
new
straight
stuff.
up cover band?
No, they've got some new stuff too. But we're gonna try and get them on our Toledo live show once we start production with that. And but awesome. The horns, anything that's got horns in it, and sax, trombone, and I'm like, wow.
I'm game.
And yeah, they're out at Put-in Bay a lot. Maybe we'll just have to go out to Put-in Bay and check them out.
Well, yeah, you would like that, you perv, with all the women running around half naked. Bet you would.
Man, you should be liking that too. I'm 126 years old, man. I'm supposed to like that stuff.
Yeah, but they're my age, so it's not perverted.
And you're chicken then.
You're
chicken.
Your level would be like if
That's
I was
right.
checking out like children, which would be
Oh, shut the hell up.
well, because
Shut
you're like
the hell up.
you're like what 50 now?
Yeah.
You're 50.
But I'm a good 50. I'm not a bad 50. I'm a
you're
good
talking
50.
about Jennifer Lawrence, and she's
just-
like your
she's hot.
daughter's age.
She's not my daughter's age. She's hot. She's hot.
When your
She
daughter was
does
a
very good
sophomore, she
job.
was a senior in high school.
She does a very good job on.
Yeah,
on
that put
the
it in
film.
perspective for you.
I
Didn't
like
it?
redheads. Sorry, I'm a redhead.
It would.
freak. I'm
She's
freak.
not a redhead.
Yeah, well, she's kind of redhead.
No.
Yes.
She's like a brunette.
Brunette redhead. I like that long hair like that. Yeah.
It would seriously be,
blondes.
dude. That's.
I liked her on Saturday Night Live. She was very good on Saturday
And
Night
it wouldn't
Live.
even be like me being into little kids, which is
Oh,
disgusting.
jeez,
It would be
oh my
like it would be like me
Here
being
we
into
go.
people who aren't even born yet. You being 50 and being into
All
a
right, listen.
22-year-old.
Here we go. I like Ellie Mae too, and she's 70. What now?
Dude, now you're just going too
70s.
far the other way.
She's hot, man. She's hot. She's hot.
You being into
Most
early
girls,
20-year-olds
most women in their 50s or in their early 50s,
don't got it anymore.
they don't take care of themselves.
I'm just kidding.
No, they and granted, there's women out there that are 50 years old that, they work out, they do this, they do that. Yeah, I'm not 50. I'm still 22. I'll still go take anybody out on a basketball court. Probably die on the court, but I still do it. I still think.
Yeah,
that
I
way.
noticed a cigarette smell in here, by the way, and I thought you quit.
Well, anyways.
Did you do those workouts this weekend?
No, but I did hit the treadmill this weekend, and I did some working
Okay,
out.
all right,
so
that's
I'm getting,
something.
and I'm just a little nervous. And to be honest with you, when we did the game Saturday night out at Woodmore, I got there so early. I mean, our game wasn't until 8 o'clock. I got there at 4 o'clock.
Right.
Because I wanted to be there. I mean, literally nobody was there. So I literally carried everything in all by myself. I did everything. I did the whole setup basically by myself. And it was a little much. I think I popped something in my back. I got a pinched nerve between my shoulder blades again, and it's
You gotta live with your legs, buddy.
yeah, well, but no, it's just women that are in their. I appreciate a woman that would be my age that takes good care. If she smokes, she smokes, and I understand that. But overweight people, that have issues with that, and there are people that medically have those issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there are also people that sit on their lazy boy 24/7. and then they eat. Even though I have a cigarette occasionally, I'm not a drinker. My vice is Pepsi, and I gotta just stop that. If I stopped Pepsi, I would lose weight, and I really haven't gained that much weight because I do a lot of work and stuff, but I need to work out. I'm still not at that age where I'm starting to look old. Like, the hands are getting that look. That's the first thing I look at with a woman, and that's weird, is their hands.
Why?
Because you see.
Well, life's hard. Well, especially if they were in healthcare.
No. Like,
because your skin, when you got, especially if they're like a nurse or something, or still a nurse, like in healthcare, you wash your hands all the time. So your skin, it's not good for your skin. You know what I mean? That's why their hands.
They're just my little, weird thing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm 50 years old, and I've been single for 20 years.
Yeah, that.
I give up on that.
You're looking at all the 22-year-olds.
Nah, I give up on the whole thing. I just don't care. I don't care.
Dude, I'm just messing with you.
I want to make Toledo Sports Network profitable, and when it becomes profitable, I'll start having a little fun. Fly out to Vegas, and hey, what's your name?
I'm just messing with you, man. All I'm saying though is like you don't see me chasing zygotes. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus, guys, I'm not chasing. I just made a comment that Jennifer Lawrence I think is hot. I do. I think she's good. Now here's another thing.
I don't think you're allowed to say that for 5 more years.
Lindsay Lohan. I don't think she's hot. I think Lindsay Lohan is a train wreck.
She looks like she's been rode hard and put away wet several times.
Same thing.
You know what I mean?
That
and I don't mean that in a sexual way, by the way.
Hannah Montana chick, Miley Cyrus. No,
she never really did anything for me.
Yeah. So there. So you can't say that I'm after them all.
I don't have anything against her. She just
for 21 minutes we've been talking crap. It's time to talk about good stuff.
I don't have anything against Miley Cyrus. She just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
I've always thought Jennifer Love Hewitt was
there you go.
Was very gorgeous.
There's a 10.
But I wonder too because she's been single for a long time. I don't know.
She's a 10.
But she's gorgeous. I've had a crush on her since I was 9 when I watched Party of 5.
And she was what 14 at the time. See, you like older women.
I do like older women. All right. Not like grannies. That's gross. But like
50-year-olds, you mean?
But no, Lindsay Lohan, man. Actually, it's funny you mention that because, and then we'll get into the music. But I listen to
fast forward.
I listen to Adam Carolla, and no, this is good stuff. Don't fast forward through this. If you fast forward through this, you're lazy. You need to absorb content because this is grade A meat right here.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Not horse meat.
This is top shelf liquor.
A lot of horse meat out there.
This isn't the well stuff. All right. This is the stuff that'll put hair on your chest. Okay. This is the Jameson of podcasting. Okay.
Hair on your chest.
But no, I was listening to because Dr. Drew's been taking a lot of heat lately because
with the girls passing away.
Mindy
McCready,
she killed herself.
Right.
And there's been a couple other people who have overdosed and died, and so he's been coming under a lot of heat, which I think is bull crap, man. Listen, Hey,
if you're stupid enough to put it on TV, it ain't,
See, but I honestly don't see what they do as exploitation because
I think it's
those people. Some of them get paid to come there. Some of them get court ordered to go there, and some of them are there voluntarily.
Right.
And I really genuinely think, not that Dr. Drew needs me to stand in his corner because I'm a nobody, but I really do think that he really cares about what he's doing. He's before he was doing all this stuff. I mean, granted, him and Adam Carolla did Loveline for a long time, but he was just a regular doctor, and he still is. He still treats people who are regular people. In fact, they had a show where it was all just regular people. I really think that, and he brought this up on the show, with Mindy's case, he said, I think she was afraid to check back because her boyfriend killed himself, and that sent her into even worse of a downward spiral. And he said, I believe that she was afraid to check back into rehab because of the media attention.
Right.
And I do, with all the TMZ and all that stuff, I mean, that when you're a celebrity, that comes with the territory. But at the same time, there are certain areas where I think especially today, the line gets blurred because everybody wants to be the first to do stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I was really ticked off when Sandy Creek happened and they interviewed that boy, like, after he came out of the school.
Yep.
That was, leave the interviewing in that situation. A kid just watched a guy with a machine gun a 5 or 6-year-old kid just watched a guy go in and start blowing. You know what I mean? Like, he's too young to understand that, but it's also something that psychologically he's going to have to deal with the rest of his life. Don't stick a mic in his face. I mean, as a journalist, I was really ticked off about that because there's a time and a place, you know, and I think we're starting to blur the line between breaking news and when it's crossing the line to get information and when, you know, there's certain things, and to me that was awful. Let the police and the detectives and the psychologists on the scene, those are the people that should have been talking to those kids first.
Yep.
Nobody else. And I thought that was, but I think I mean, and I don't really, I'm not somebody that watches. I've caught here and there stuff with like the celebrity rehab and things like that. See, I don't like to watch stuff like that because then you start to, you know, I don't know. It doesn't make me feel good when I watch people who are suffering, and I watch. I mean, granted, there's triumph in that because then if they do well, but then, you know, but I don't think that in this situation, the stuff that's coming, you know, people have been saying some really horrible stuff like Dr. Kevorkian, and it's like, you guys, this is, you know, the guy's trying to, and that's the thing, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. It's the age old thing, and it's that kind of stuff really just. But how I got into this whole rigmarole. I listened to Adam Carolla and Jay Moore's podcast a lot, and Adam Carolla had a special show with Dr. Drew recently, and he had former patients, you know, Eric Roberts come on and a few others, and they all defended Dr. Drew and all said that you know, that show and Dr. Drew's help was really beneficial to them, and they had Michael Lohan on, who obviously is Lindsay Lohan's dad. And he was talking about how frustrating it is to, you know, to try to get through to her and try to get her help. And, you know, because she's really talented. I mean, she's a very talented actress, very talented. And I think in her case, it was probably just too much too soon. She's been doing it since she was a little kid. And, I mean, we see it all the time. You see it in music. You see it with actors and actresses in Hollywood. When you get that fame and that attention and that money and that success at such a young age, your mind is just not, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you grew up in show business from the time you came out of the womb. You're not built to handle that. Human beings can only take so much. And I think in her case, it's been too much, too young, too fast. And now that she's getting older, you know, you don't see her on the TV as much, but it always seems like the next time you turn around, something's going on and she's in the courtroom or this or that. And I don't know, man. I mean, just I just think it's a tough thing when you go through something like that. So Lindsay Lohan, I really do hope she can get it together because that's not fun for me to watch. It's not fun for me to watch train wrecks and watch people go to the, you know what I mean? That's not.
She's definitely a train wreck right now. Hopefully she can get it together.
You know, I mean, Michael Jackson was one of the greatest entertainers ever, and he was dead before he was 50. It was incredibly sad. But I want to switch gears to more music stuff. See, you got me on a roll with all the women.
Half hour later.
All the women and all that stuff. And,
no, you did that.
No, you did it. You made a statement, and then I finished it off. I did.
Yes, you did.
But this week we've got Donovan from the local band Halero, and
I thought we had Donovan. Down, remember that?
Hey,
song?
this kid's a very talented musician.
Very good.
He studied at BGSU. Now he's pursuing graduate studies in music therapy at Western Michigan, and Halero's been in the works now for a couple of years. Everybody in the band grew up together. They all went to Anthony Wayne High School, and they're actually going to be playing at the University of Toledo Rockathon in April, which is through the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. I believe it raises funds for that, you know, where they like dance all night, basically.
Oh, yeah.
They're headlining that, and they're really excited because their album is going to be coming out, they hope, right around that time, and they're recording with some great local guys at Little Elephant Recording, Brian Gross-Bias and Rob Courtney, fellow Central Catholic grad. Just saying, Rob Courtney, check him out. But him and Brian Gross-Bias have been doing a lot of great work at Little Elephant Recording here in Rossford, and have been recording a lot of local bands at an incredibly great price, and they're very, very good dudes. And these guys are excited because they're going in the studio with them in early March. And so Donovan and I just talked about everything that was going on with the band and what this year is going to be like for those guys. So without further ado, I'm going to shut the heck up. We're going to stop talking about Mike's interest in chasing around the younger women like Hugh Hefner and switch gears here. So without further ado, here's Donovan from Halero. Well, first, dude, I just want to say thanks for taking some time. How long has music been something that you personally have wanted to pursue?
Me personally, I've pretty much, I don't know, most of my life I actually went to school for music personally, so I started in 5th grade, and it's been a long road, many instruments in between, so.
What did you start playing?
I started on trumpet, and then when I was a junior, I picked up percussion, and I got a drum set when I was 16. Started playing drums then with our singer of our band. So that was fun. And I also got a guitar when I was a freshman. Sorry, that's not in order, but yes, I got a guitar. And I guess I didn't really get serious about anything in particular until when I was a junior. I really started playing guitar a lot and got really into jazz. And so I went to Bowling Green State University for my undergraduate in guitar performance. So I studied jazz and classical guitar there. And then just that whole time I've been playing some various rock projects on drum set.
So how old are you now, man?
I am 22.
22? So are you still in school?
Yeah, now I'm at Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Okay.
And I'm going to school I'm a graduate student in music therapy.
Oh, so now you're in grad school?
Yep.
That's cool, man. Kalamazoo, that's a pretty cool town. I used to go to like Grand Haven when I was a little kid, which is like I think just a little bit northwest of there, over on Lake Michigan. It's a really cool place.
Yeah.
How long you been up there? Just since the beginning of the year?
Yeah, since August.
That's cool, dude. So how did the formation of this band come about? I mean, I know you said you were into different types of music and things like that, but from what I've heard, you guys are more of a hard rock sound. So how did this sort of sync up for you guys to get the ball rolling for this?
Well, the band, the singer and I, Matt and I have been playing together for about at least 8 years now. We've done this, I think, our 4th band or something, so it's really a really unique and twisted arrangement we have going on here. Matt and I grew up next door to each other. His parents are neighbors of my parents, so we kind of grew up around each other and started playing when we got an idea for the current band. Halero's been together for about 3 years, maybe 3 or 4 years. We started hooking up with guitarist Sawyer. He was one of my guitar students, actually. And I knew that he had a lot of potential, and he's currently going to school for guitar as well. So I knew he had a lot of potential. So we started a band with him, and I played bass, and we had another drummer who moved out to Athens. So when he moved, I went on the drums, and we were just a trio for a while. We didn't have a bass player. And then we did that for a while and really realized that we really needed a bass player if we wanted to, like, get serious and record anything. Because it was a good stint what we did live to do as a trio, and we rigged the guitars up so that one of them was playing, the bass role. But I don't know, it was just really lacking as far as what we wanted to write and what we wanted to record. So our current bassist, Amanda, right now, is actually Sawyer's sister, and she had always joked around being our bass player
So how long have you and Matt and Sawyer been playing together?
We did the trio thing for, I think, about 2 years. We kind of spent a year writing the stuff from the band with the other drummer and converting everything over to our trio. So we kind of played together for a year before we did any gigs, and then we gigged for about a year until we got our bass player. So that's about 2 years, and then we've been with our current bass player for almost a year now.
How's she doing?
She's doing pretty well. She has I don't know, definitely had a lot of catch up to play, and that was pretty rough for her to get all the catch up. But we really put in a lot of time and to give her all the resources that she would need to catch up. So we're all a little nervous about tracking. We're actually hitting the studio in 2 weeks. So the first week of March, we're hitting the studio. And since I'm out of town, we pretty much just had our last practice yesterday, Saturday and Sunday. So everyone's kind of nervous about tracking their own parts, but we recorded a demo about a year after we were together, right before we started gigging as a trio. And so everyone except her has already at least tracked before in the studio. So I think that's something she's pretty nervous about.
Now, how long has she been playing bass?
She had a bass for quite a while, but I don't think she ever was serious about it until she made the decision to join the band. So she was playing catch-up and learning, I guess, a lot of the bass at the same time. So she hasn't even been playing that long. So she's owned one for a while, but not really until she just said that she wanted to be our bass tech.
So where did you grow up? Where did you and Matt grow up in the area?
Out in the Anthony Wayne. We all graduated from Anthony Wayne.
Okay.
So Matt, Sawyer, and Amanda live about 6 minutes away from where Matt and I grew up, which is out in Neapolis, or right at the end of I don't know, outside of the White House area. So we all grew up really close.
When you got the ball rolling for this, where did the name Halero come from?
That is the question we always get asked. We just made it up, really. Everyone was so picky. We went through name after name after name, and we couldn't get all three of us, because we were just a trio, we couldn't get all three of us to agree on anything. So we basically set up all these ideas of we want it to be one word, and it could start with some of these letters, and so I don't know, I just started we all started just making up random words, and that was one that everyone kind of said, yeah, it's got a ring to it. So I wish we had a better story than that.
So it's a made up word?
Yeah, I came up with it out of our heads.
So now, when did you guys start playing shows then? Like, what year was that you guys actually started to go out and play as a trio?
That would be probably on our Facebook or something. We played for about a year, and our first show, you know what, I would have that written down somewhere. I'm going to say 2009. I'm going to go try to look that up as we're talking. But
so it was like right around, like not too long after you actually got out of high school at Anthony Wayne?
Yeah, when we were starting as a trio, Sawyer was still in high school.
Okay. And
so, yeah, it was pretty cool opportunity for him.
Yeah. And your EP, I read that it was called Actually Pretty Good. Is that the name of it?
It is.
Can you tell me a little bit about what that recording process was like at the time? Was it just the three of you guys, or is that also with the old drummer too?
No, it was just as a trio. Let me check this out. Alright, it says here that I'm going to say we started playing shows in 2010. So
Okay.
I guess that would put us on that 3-year mark.
Okay.
So, when we recorded, it was just a trio. We knew a guy who was recording a few local bands, and we didn't really have any money. So he's building a studio and offered to sort of do like a test run with us. So it was a learning experience for us, major, and it was also a learning experience for him. So he kind of was just pro bono, like, I'll record you guys. It's probably not going to be the greatest thing, but it lets him try out his studio and his new equipment and his new mixing strategies and whatnot. So it's just a trio, and it was our first time tracking individually. It was our first time using a click track. Like recording the vocals separately from everything else. It was really challenging. But definitely the worthwhile experience, and it was really good to get a shot to record in a studio before having to pay to be in a studio. So, because in most studios you pay by the hour. So, it was really cool to just have that time to work through all of our issues together without having to pay for that per hour.
Who did you guys record with?
It's called Stone Soup Studios.
Stone Soup?
Yes.
And that's just a guy like in Northwest Ohio?
Yeah, I think right now he's in the process of, his first studio was in his basement, and now he actually has a separate building where he's building like a legit studio. So I think he's in the process of, he's got it down, and he's just doing all the soundproofing and logistics for that right now. So his new studio should be open soon, I think.
So when you guys went through that process, like at that time, did you guys already have songs that you had been working on prior to going into the studio, or were you guys just kind of going off the cuff when you went in to record with them?
Yeah, no, I'd say we recorded all the songs that we wrote as a group. So a couple of our songs that we were performing at the time were just new spins off things that Matt and I had previously done or whatnot, but we recorded all of our original stuff that we wrote together. So our EP is only 4 songs, so we pretty much just put out, everything we had at the time.
Now, what's it been like just sort of within the last year? I've seen, not even within the last year, but in the last couple of months, you guys have done some shows. I know you play with, like, In Theory locally, and I saw you guys just launched your Kickstarter on February 1st, too, right? You guys have had a lot going on the last 6-7 months.
Yeah, definitely been playing some shows. We're pretty close with In Theory. We played a show with them random. I think my brother gave us their CD one time, and we found that they're from Toledo, and we hooked up with them. And so we're pretty close with them. We try to gig with them when we can. I'm just not always in town. And we played our last show at Frankie's in December, and since then we knew that we wanted to be in the studio in March, so we've just been spending all of our time polishing and practicing together, and we're actually finishing up 2 more tunes for the album that have never been performed anywhere. And the Kickstarter has been a huge deal for us. there's a lot that goes into the album as far as, getting all the
I think it's there's so many bands that I've done stories on now, Donovan, that I've used that as a tool, and I just think it's awesome because, I mean, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, stuff like that even wasn't really around, and for bands that are, like you said, I mean, it's expensive to record, even if you do it on a local level. I mean, you still got to pay people, and I think it's awesome that there's something like Kickstarter out there that helps people be able to reach an audience and share their product like that.
Yeah, I just came to practice one day with the idea, and I'm really glad we ran with it because, as you said, recording can be expensive, and it's not just recording because we got to pay a studio, but we also need to pay to make the CDs, and we have a guy working on our graphics for all the album art and the CD art. So that's a whole other side project we've got running. So to do all that is it literally doubles the cost of recording. And it's really cool because we thought we were just kind of treating this as like a pre-order of the album. We offer the Kickstarter and we offer a copy of the album for $10. But so far only one person has just done $10. Everybody else has thrown that or way more than that at us. And so it's really cool that we're getting that kind of support. So we're thinking that the big push for the pre-order is going to come closer to the deadline or after we've been in and out of the studio. So.
Now, for you guys too, as far as getting this together, what's it been like working on the new material? Like, how are you guys going to take the 4 tunes that you had from Actually Pretty Good and then put that with what you're coming up with now?
All but the first track will be on the final album. I guess the full length album. I want to call it the final one. I hope there's more. So three of the songs from that will be done. I actually just listened to that yesterday a few times through, and it may not even be even comparable in terms of quality, but even our best days then are nowhere near our iffiest days now. We're just so much better as a band. So on new material, 3 of the other songs we performed pretty regularly, and 2 of the songs have never been performed. We're still actually putting the finishing touches on those 2 songs even now. So 2 weeks to go, and we're still making some final decisions on where we want to go with the songs. But it's fun. Our writing process is pretty unique because we write almost entirely in collaboration. So I know a couple of our older songs would be Matt would bring an idea, or I know I've written one of the songs, and Sawyer has written one of the songs, and we come in and we all kind of write parts to their song. But these new songs have been someone brings in an idea that's less than 10 seconds, and then we write the rest of the song all in collaboration together. So I think that's pretty different than how a lot of bands write.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that you guys can collaborate like that. I've seen some stuff where they all do it separately, and to the point even where they can't even all even be in the same room together sometimes. So that's pretty sweet. When did Actually Pretty Good come out?
Oh man,
was that in 2010 too? In that realm?
I'm gonna say yes, because I know when we created the Kickstarter and we created the Facebook page, it says in May, and I know that our headlines were our fall EP, so I think we came out with the fall 2010.
Now, as far as picking a place to record with, a place to record your this will be like a full length album that you guys are doing, right?
Right. Yep.
How did you guys go about picking a studio and eventually settling on Little Elephant recording?
If you check out Little Elephant Recording, they are 2 busy guys because they are recording almost every Toledo band I've ever heard of. They're fairly young, but I kind of followed their Facebook page and got an idea of their, like, just their personality and their energy, and I guess, like, one of the main deciding factors, to be honest, is that they charge per song and not per hour. So, and they mix and master in their own studio, so, in terms of efficiency, like, it's definitely, that was a big factor, was that they drive one of the most competitive rates that the city they're in is showing, because they get a lot of business, and being in contact with them, like, seeing a tour of their studio and just talking back and forth about planning and how excited they are, and like they actually listen to the bands that they record, and keep tabs on them, and so we really enjoy. I'm really excited to work with them. So.
Yeah, actually, Rob Courtney went to Central, where I went to school, and he was a couple years older. I didn't know him personally or anything, but actually, there's another guy that I just did a story on recently, Luke James, who's from BG, and he was talking about just how awesome it was to record with those guys, and I know they're both huge music people. That this is something that they really love to do. So I kind of have a feel for how it seems like they go about recording with people. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it seems like they're two guys fresh out of college, just looking to get a lot of experience. So they've got a pretty competitive rate, but they're getting the experience. They're recording a new band like every week and kicking out all these CDs. You can just check them out on their page. So it's super exciting for them too. So I know I really enjoy following them and all the bands that are in there, especially because since most of them are from Toledo, I know a lot of the people and a lot of the bands are recording there, so it's cool to see all their pictures and follow up with what they're doing.
So do you guys have like amount of time that you're planning to record with them? Like, are you going for like a week, 2 weeks, or is it just?
Yeah, we got a week, so should be pretty good.
And your guys' sound, as I kind of touched on earlier, I saw some of the different bands that you guys are interested in. Is it kind of more of in sort of that hard rock vein? Because like one of my favorite bands is Alter Bridge, and I saw that was one of your influences. And I listened to I think it was Slow Down was a track that you guys had on your Facebook.
Right. Yeah, Alter Bridge is definitely a huge influence for all of us. That's one of the bands that kind of like ties us together, because our influences are pretty different. Me coming from, I've got a rock background on drums, but I also have a strong jazz influence as a guitar player, even though I am the drummer of the band, and so the singer's got the alternative and southern kind of rock influence, but our guitarist really, and I are pretty into like more of the heavier sound, so it's a good mix. So I guess we kind of call ourselves like a really hard alternative rock, or like a hard rock with an alternative edge to it. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to when Alter Bridge comes out with some new stuff. But Miles and all those guys and Mark and Scott, they're all when they're not playing together, they're playing with like everybody else. They're like doing music nonstop, which it's cool. But as a fan of the band, you're always waiting for that next one, So I thought their last record was pretty interesting. They got a little bit more conceptual, and I think it was probably, I don't even know if darker is the right word. It was a little bit heavier. Some of the tracks, obviously there was like Ghosts of Days Gone By and stuff like that were a little bit more laid back. But I've really loved everything that they've done. It still amazes me that they're bigger in Europe than they are here, because when you see them live, they've really put on a show. Me and my buddy Dave have gone to see them twice, and they played for over an hour both times.
Yeah, we our singer's seen them twice, and when we were a trio, we went to Rock on the Range out in Columbus 2 years ago, and they were there. So that was pretty much a huge treat for all of us to see them. I was really excited with how AB3 turned out. I really like the Zero. That track is pretty good on that album, but I've actually been listening to that pretty intently lately, just for inspiration and really trying to narrow down what we want our bass tone to sound like. And they're just phenomenal writers, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, what I like too is, and I don't know if it's not just them either. There's other bands that I've gotten into where it's heavy, but it's got it's also uplifting. I think sometimes when people think of heavy metal and hard rock, they think of like headbang and like Satan worshipers, and they're about as far from that as possible. Like, I've never got done listening to an Alter Bridge album and thought like I need to go roll up in a ball and cry somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's like very uplifting stuff. And then you get the chance to see it live, and you just see how much, you can tell how much they practice and how much they play, because it's like, Mark will play a solo and he'll hit it dead on, and Scott Phillips is like incredibly precise, and Brian Marshall's a really good bassist. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, I think Mark's got a reputation for how much he practices. Even on the road, he somehow finds time to practice like 6 to 9 hours a day. And I don't even know how that's possible on the road, but I guess like if you watch all these interviews and stuff about them, that like he just never stops playing.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It's insane. I was hoping I would get a chance to see his solo stuff live too, but I got a couple of different gigs and I haven't had an opportunity to check it out. But I thought his solo record turned out pretty well. But yeah, they're great band. For you guys, even though you said you collaborate together, does Matt do most of like the actual songwriting, or do you guys contribute lyrically as well?
Matt, it's getting more and more. I guess historically he does do most of the lyrical writing, but especially for the last 2 songs that we've been working on, we've all been a lot more in collaboration with that. Definitely putting more input. We're adding a little bit more dirty vocals into our music. So I guess you call it screaming, but I mean it's semantics. So yeah, Sawyer does. Around Toledo, we cover a song called "This Could Be Anywhere" by Alexis on Fire. This could be anywhere in the world, and that's sort of one of the monikers that we've gotten around Toledo. That a lot of people know us more for that song than they do original music, unfortunately. But it's definitely a fun song to play live. So that kind of introduced the whole dirty vocal aspect of our band. So we're kind of throwing it in there. We're not screamo by any means, but sort of adding that into our repertoire a little bit, kind of making it a little bit darker, a little bit heavier. We're definitely, our new music is definitely a little heavier, especially, Slow Down is our ballad of our album, so definitely an exciting direction that we're heading in.
So for 2013, when do you guys hope to put this new album out?
I'm gonna say by April, honestly, if we can get it all tracked in 2 weeks and finish all the mixing and mastering by March. I'm hoping to have the final product off the line in April. We're headlining University of Toledo to the Rockathon, so their big dance marathon. We're headlining that, and so that's going to be for a crowd of over 700 people right after our album gets out. So that's the big news for us.
So that's like the goal right now, is to try to get it out by the Rockathon in April.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. And then other than that, are you guys once school's out, are you going to be up in Kalamazoo for the summer, or do you have plans to come back in this area and do more shows with these guys down here? How will that work?
Kind of back and forth. Actually, our bassist is moving up to Kalamazoo in midsummer as well, so we'll be half and half. So I used to meet back and forth. I'm sort of used to driving back and forth now for any band-related stuff. We're trying to sort of expand a little bit. I guess our goal, obviously our goal with this album is just exposure. We want our music out there. We want it down. Because, we'd love to be playing together, but with two people, with half of our band 3 hours away, we don't know what's going to happen. So we really want our music down, but we definitely hope to play, and we're trying to expand our fan base, trying to play some shows up here in Kalamazoo and Battle Creek, and maybe out in Ann Arbor or something, to try to kind of bridge our fan base and maybe get, hammered out in Toledo, but maybe get a little bit outside of Toledo with this album.
Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed both the interview and our intro to the show.
Wow, you didn't do any voices.
That was, because I'm keeping it serious now.
Can you do Anne Hathaway?
No, I can't do Anne Hathaway. We got into some serious stuff. See, why do you always got to go on the nasty level? And I just want to be clear, when I said rode hard and put away wet, you guys...
Yeah, you said that.
You guys realize it's not a sexual thing, right? It's referring to horses about just going out there and running around.
Wilbur.
So when you say somebody looks like they've been rode hard and put away wet, it doesn't mean it looks like they've been through a brothel. It, in fact, means that it looks like they're very worn down, okay? I just want to be clear about my comments.
Because we got a lot of phone calls about that.
No, we didn't. Because I'm not a pervert, okay? I'm not a weirdo.
You could be closet, though. You could be a closet pervert.
No, I'm not.
You could be a pervert that's like locked in.
No.
And he's trying to get out.
No.
Let me out.
No, I do not have an inner perv. That's weird. That's weird. But in all honesty, I really do hope, I just want to finish that thought, I really do hope Lindsay Lohan gets it together, because I am not somebody that enjoys train wrecks. I didn't enjoy watching it with Michael Jackson. I didn't enjoy watching it with Whitney Houston. I didn't enjoy watching it with Mike Starr from Alice in Chains, who's one of my all-time favorite bands. It's very sad. It's very devastating.
It really is, yeah.
And that's why I don't like to watch that type of stuff, because, dealing with it on your own is enough. And granted, like I said, nobody is there at this thing, against their will.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just hope Lindsay Lohan can get it together, man, because she's very talented. She just did that special where she played, oh, my God. How do I not know?
Oh, Elizabeth Taylor?
Liz Taylor, yeah.
Yeah, but it bombed, dude. It bombed really bad.
Yeah, but she
it was embarrassing bomb.
But I thought she did a pretty good job. I thought she did a pretty good job.
I don't know. They were.
But what does that mean when something bombs? You know what I mean? Honestly, because there's a lot of people are into a lot of stuff that's not very good. You know what I mean? I mean, let's be honest. When it comes to music and entertainment, there's a lot of stuff that does really well that artistically is not creative at all.
That's true.
Because I believe the average person just, people
right.
just, let's just see something. You know what I mean? There's a lot of really good stuff out there that, some people just aren't into. I love my buddy Dave. Not going to throw him under the bus, okay? One of my best friends. Love him like a brother. But, he's really into horror stuff, okay? And not even horror, but, what I would classify as torture porn. Oh. You know what I mean?
Torture porn.
Well, you know what I mean. Just movies where it's just slice them, dice them, the whole movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, and we'll watch stuff like that every now and again.
Just remember who started this conversation at the beginning of this.
Why do you always act like every direction I go in is...
But that I am this pervolated...
Hey, I never called you... I didn't call you like Jerry Sandusky or anything like that.
No, you didn't. No.
I didn't go that far.
You called me Hugh Hefner, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, why is that bad?
That's cool.
Hugh Hefner has been helping young men.
Don't. You gotta start your ending. He's
been helping young men.
I think you're a little nervous with this beautiful sunny day that we're gonna get all this snow and
I don't
you're
worry.
Freaking out.
Hey, listen, I'm not over the hill like you. I don't worry about the weather. I wake up and I deal with it. That's how I deal with the weather. See, now you made me lose my train of thought.
Okay.
All I'm saying is
that train left a long time ago.
No, it didn't.
It was road wet and put away hard.
Now that sounded weird. Rode wet and put away. Now that is definitely weird. It is rode hard and put away wet. And it is not a sexual thing. It literally is a play on words with horses. Forget it.
Oh, nearly.
Okay.
This band.
All I'm saying is I don't like to see train wreck stuff. Okay. You know what I mean? But there's some people who don't like my buddy Dave. I showed him. We watched Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dave Truman.
No. Did you really think I was? Why would I be talking about Dave Truman?
Anyways.
No. God. No.
This is a crazy week.
No, I'm not talking about Dave Truman. All right. I'm talking about my buddy Dave, and all I'm saying is he loves torture porn movies, and that's a very specific thing. You know what I mean? It's this very horror, and I like good horror movies. You know what I mean? But there's some stuff that's just like too gory for me.
Sure.
And it's almost amusing at how gory it is, and I think that's why he likes it sometimes. So it's funny to watch stuff like that with him, but then I'll show him like a really good artsy movie.
Sure.
And maybe not even something that's artsy, but just like a good movie, like Reservoir Dogs.
Right.
Which was, you know what I'm talking about, right? Quentin Tarantino, I believe that was his first feature, like major film. Okay, a lot of great actors in it. And he was like, not really into it. And that's what I'm talking about with people. So when you say that the ratings bond with Lindsay Lohan, what does that really mean? Because there's, everybody has an acquired taste. And I think sometimes people like the song and the dance and the explosion and the special effects more than something that maybe is like a really good story, because they want to be wah, you know what I mean? And we're in a whole age of wah. You know what I mean? You can get everything is at the fingertips, so you don't get the same type of respect for really good stuff. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's why there's a lot of really good music that people don't know about. That's why there's a lot of really good movies that don't make it to the big screen, because at the end of the day, it's about money. And money is what drives everything, and it's about what sells. So you could make something that's really good, but it might not sell as well as something else. That doesn't mean it's not as good as it. It just means it might not be as sugary and as treatsy treat as this mainstream stuff. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
You get where I'm coming from, Mikey?
I'm with you, man.
So the fact that her Liz Taylor, because I watched some of that, and I thought that she did a really good job. So for the record, I just want to say that, and I hope she gets it together. And if you're somebody that enjoys watching people's train wrecks, I mean, that's disgusting. You need to go do something about that, folks. That's gross. It's weird. Kind of like Mike being into 22-year-old chicks. It's weird. It's gross.
I'm not taking it no further.
I think you need to find yourself a nice 40 to 48-year-old woman.
I don't want anybody
who's got stuff in common with you.
Like a good checking account.
And stop turning your head at stuff that's, guess what, man? They stopped looking at you a long time ago, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. They never looked at me.
I'm not saying that. I'm breaking you down to build you back up. You realize that, right?
Donovan was a wonderful interview.
I'm giving you the punches. I'm giving you those rib shots that people always ignore. Everybody's worried about the face. They're worried about the moneymaker. But at the end of the day, what takes you down is those consistent body shots.
Yeah, I know.
The wear and the tear and the wear.
know.
I'm knocking you down so that you can pop back up like Rocky. Dun-dun, dun-dun.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm doing, man. Because
I
I
need
want
my
to see
Adrian.
you.
Is that what it is?
I want to see you. You do.
All right.
I want to see you move beyond the past and stop thinking about the future and the ice storm we're not going to get. And you need to focus on the present. You need to stop looking at chicks like Jennifer Lawrence and going, "Wow, she's hot. That would be awesome to be with her," because it's never going to happen. And I'm young, and I don't even fantasize about Jennifer Lawrence. You know why?
Why?
Because it's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
You're a realist. I'm an optimist.
I'm a realist.
And
exactly.
I'm an optimist. So.
I'm a realist. And
Donovan was really good today.
I'm going to finish my point before I get back to Donovan.
God.
And Donovan, when you hear this, you're going to understand.
Wow.
You're going to understand. He is going to understand because he's a really nice guy. He's going to understand. All I'm saying is, Mike, and I think Donovan would agree. You're nodding your head right now, Donovan, right? He's listening to this, and he's going, yes. I didn't realize I was going to have so much movie coverage and Lindsay Lohan talk and a podcast that featured my interview, but I understand where you're going with this, Mike. I get you. I feel you. Mike, you need to just be yourself, okay? You need to get back into shape. You need to, I'm telling you this is your friend. I'm telling you this is your colleague and your friend.
Yeah.
You got to stop smoking the cigarettes.
Yep.
Because you have an iron skull. You have an iron will, but you have an iron skull. And you remind me of a few of my good friends, which is I can't tell them anything. I could tell them, hey, Mike, don't go walk into that burning forest. You're going to die. And you'd be like, no, I can make it through the flames. And, okay. And you're somebody that will walk into that burning forest every time, even though there's a beach and an ocean right over there.
With 26-year-old or 24-year-old girls on.
Oh, God. I just know that's how you are.
I know.
So I'm just sort of beating it into your head because you got an iron skull.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? You need to get back into shape.
Say that in my funeral. I
gave you 10-minute workouts. Say, Donovan, if you're listening, it's Donovan. They take 10 minutes, dude. Everybody's got 10. I don't care who you are. You have 10 minutes. Okay? You have 10 minutes. All it is 10 minutes. You need to do those. You need to get your ass up every morning. You need to do it.
All right.
You understand me?
All right.
Look at me when I'm talking.
Yes, sir.
You got it?
Ooh, yes,
From a
sir.
mic to another mic.
Yes.
I'm being serious. You need to do those every morning.
All right.
Okay? You have any cigarettes in the house right now, you need to take them outside,
Burn 'em
and
up.
you need to burn them up.
Burn them.
And I don't mean smoke them.
I'm not going to.
I mean, you need to literally burn them or throw them away. Okay? It's the other thing. Other thing, stop drinking pop, period. Pop,
Pop's
gone.
Yeah, Pop's gone.
Pop is gone. Even diet pop. They're
Yep.
doing studies now that show that maybe it can increase your chances of diabetes. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah,
But either way,
Pop's
I don't
gone.
have anything against pop.
Iced tea.
Pop companies as a
Drink
business.
iced tea.
Drink water and drink low caloric drinks. Watch out for the high fructose corn syrup.
No, I drink the iced tea unsweetened.
Okay, there you go. That's good stuff. Okay. Green in your diet, which I don't.
I eat.
You eat well. You can
I eat
cook.
a
Mike can't
ton.
cook. For any single women who are actually near his age who are listening, Mike can actually really cook. Okay.
Tons of vegetables.
He can
I love
look.
vegetables.
See, and then
Broccoli's my favorite.
You will then start to become more of the poor man's George Clooney that I know is in you, and less of the
Colonel Sanders.
50-year-old Colonel Sanders who's checking out chicks who are half his age.
Anderson.
All right?
All right.
You got it? That's
All
your
right,
plan.
I'm there. Talk about Donovan.
Donovan, I want to thank you for the interview. I want to thank you for the time. It was great talking to you, and I hope 2013 is a great year for Halero and your band. That's awesome that you guys are doing Rockathon, and in all seriousness, I really appreciate the time, man. And I know you probably didn't realize there were going to be this many shenanigans involved in my podcast, but they're there, man. They're there. But in all seriousness, thank you, Donovan. I really do wish you guys well in the new year. And for those of you who want to check out Halero, oh my gosh, I can't even talk now. They're on Facebook. Go to Kickstarter.com, search Halero. That's Halero. And if you want, watch their Kickstarter video, donate to their page. They launched this project for their new album, their debut album. It's more than halfway funded already. And if you're into their music, I encourage you to do it because, I mean, Kickstarter is such a great tool, man. It's just so awesome for bands and artists who've got creative projects that they're working on to help get some funding that they otherwise wouldn't have. And that's what's going on with Halero. So thank you, Donovan. Everybody go Google Halero, Halero. They're on Facebook. You don't even have to Google them. Don't even take that step. Just go onto your Facebook, type in Halero. You'll see their page. Go to Kickstarter.com, type in Halero, Halero. Check out their Kickstarter project and the packages they're offering for your donations for their debut album. It's going to be awesome. It's done by Brian Gross-Bias and Rob Courtney locally, who are two guys that I hope to get on the show in the near future because they're great guys. They're doing a lot of great work locally. And it's just all good stuff. All good stuff. Other than my concern for Mike and my
Dude, you don't even have a Facebook.
And my concern for Lindsay Lohan and my
Wow.
my lack of concern for the ice storm that's not going to happen.
This is true.
It's not going to happen.
You're right. I hope you're right.
Dude, they always drum it up.
I hope you're
Do
right.
they not always drum it up?
I don't know, man. It looks. If you
Oh,
look at the
look
weather
at-
radar, if you look at the weather radar,
Well, the
there's
radar
this
I got with my
giant
own
block.
two eyes
Yeah, I
right
know.
now is seeing a
Tomorrow
clear blue
at
sky.
8:00, Tuesday at 8:00. There.
Yeah, well, you know what?
We
I
do
hope
this
it
on
doesn't
Monday.
happen because I finally have a day off tomorrow. And granted, I'm still going to be working because that's
Yeah.
how I am. I'll find something to do.
You're doing basketball.
But, well, that's tomorrow night.
Oh,
you know?
okay. I see.
During the day, I'll be chasing the Jennifer Lawrences of the Toledo. But in all seriousness, though, go check out Halero, okay? And you know what? Everybody email Mike, okay? It's Mike at ToledoSportsNetwork.com, and just tell him, Mike, stop looking at the young. You got to find a woman who's in your. And actually, if you are a woman who is between 40 and 50 and you listen to this show, I want you to email Mike at ToledoSportsNetwork.com. Be like, Mike, and tell him a little bit about yourself. Don't go overboard with it. Don't get too crazy. But just be like, hey, Mike, you know what? I've seen your stuff on ToledoSportsNetwork.com.
I think this will get edited.
I've seen Great Lakes Golf today, and I really think that we should go out to dinner sometime. And he would be elated, and that would be very good for him.
Wow.
Because he needs to find a woman his own age. See, I'm trying to. I told you, I was breaking you down. Now I'm building you back up. You know what I mean? Now you're Rocky. You're back up on both feet now, and you're ready to go.
I've beaten Apollo Creed, so now it's on to Mr. T.
Drago.
No, it's Mr. T now.
Mr. T.
Remember?
I pity the fool. Yeah, I remember Mr. T.
Then it's Drago. All right, shut this thing
So
off.
I'm just trying to build you back up. But
You're embarrassing.
everybody, check out. Why am I embarrassing
Just
you?
do it.
Embarrassing you?
Just do it.
Embarrassing you? I'm not embarrassing you. Okay. I'm looking out for you. It's 2013. It's a
Thank
new
you,
year,
Donovan.
brother. It's a new year, and I want you to be happy, just like Halero. They're doing good stuff right now. They're happy. They got everything going. I can't wait to hear the new stuff. Check them out. Facebook.com. Go check out Halero. Kickstarter.com. Check them out. And for the rest of you, keep the faith and be kind to one another. Peace.